it's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. There's a oh, it's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. There's a oh, it's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup.
Earlier this week, we started to test the Samsung Galaxy Fold. After just 2 days, the internal display broke.
We can say that we live in the era of folding phones. Many companies are jumping in on this trend. Will this wave be short-lived, or are folding phones the future of smartphones? This video will cover the folding phone saga in 3 parts: concept, product and future. In the concept part, we will discuss the time in which folding phones were just a concept and not all the concepts floating around in the tech industry. In the product phase, we will cover the products that were released and are being released. And in the future part, we will talk about the future of folding phones. Now, there was a time when folding phones were just a concept. There were even many ideas for innovative folding phones and phones that could even wrap around your wrist. Now let us begin with the Royole FlexPi, which was the first folding phone to ever be released. But don't mistake that for it being a good folding phone, as it just plain wasn't. In order to claim the title of the first folding phone, the Royole FlexPi was rushed out without any quality testing at all. But we are here to talk about the concept. The product comes later in the video. The concept of a phone that can fold and bend was an exciting idea, and to be honest, it still is today. Now, through the jungle of rectangular, boring bricks, the sleek folding phone concepts were just a relief. Now, there were many people who are skeptical, and rightly so. The thin, bending OLED screens were new to the market, and the rumored price was just too much for what seemed to be just one unique standout feature. But nonetheless, the tech world was excited. Some saw the folding phones as the future and some saw it as a gimmick. There were many more concepts that were shown off at CES but did not end up seeing the light of day due to many issues, including production issues, under-delivering promises to investors, and just plain incompetence. The early generation of folding phones, including the FlexPi and the Galaxy Fold, were plagued with issues and didn't end up lasting long, yet they paved the way for the next generation of folding phones to follow. More on that in the next segment. Now, there were quite a few notable folding phone releases in mid to late 2019, including the aforementioned Royole FlexPi and the Samsung Galaxy Fold and the Motorola Razr, a seeming callback to the days of the flip phone. Now, the Royole FlexPi release was plagued with issues. It was poorly made and the cicada wing design was not that reliable. However, the Royole FlexPi was just a warning for other folding phones that nobody listened to. Cue the Galaxy Fold. Now, the announcement of the Galaxy Fold on February 20, 2019 was met with much excitement, as Samsung was a company known for being an established big player in the smartphone and just the tech field in general. So it's easy to see why a Samsung folding phone garnered way more attention and less skepticism than some random Chinese company. Then finally, the Galaxy Fold was launched. It all seemed all well and good for a while until reviewers around the world, from Marques Brownlee, Lou Later from Unbox Therapy to CNBC, had their Galaxy Folds start breaking. It was not due to rigorous testing, the likes of which Jerry Rig Everything puts his phones to, but they just simply broke. Samsung claims that it was because of the removal of the protective layer, which looked like a screen cover that was integral to the screen structure. But many people whose Fold broke claim they didn't remove it. But Samsung relaunched the Fold several months later with these issues fixed. So, did Samsung learn from these mistakes? To be honest, yes. With the release of the Galaxy Z Flip, the world was excited to see Samsung's take 2 at a folding phone. The Galaxy Z Flip was not just a Fold 1.1 or a Fold 2, it was its own unique phone. The Fold was the size of a 3x4 phone when folded and unfolded into a semi-tablet per se, whereas the Z Flip is a half phone when folded and becomes a full phone when unfolded. Besides these differences, the Z Flip is a very popular phone and its launch was miles better compared to the dumpster fire that was the Galaxy Fold launch. Now there is one more remarkable or significant folding phone that came not from an obscure Chinese brand like Royole or from big players like Samsung, but from Motorola. Motorola seems like the last company that you would ever think would make a folding phone, but there's more history than you would think. Now, as mentioned before, in the time of the flip phone, Motorola made lots and lots of flip phones and were very successful before the smartphone wave hit them and swept them off their position as a great in the phone industry. Some keen-eyed viewers may have noticed that the Z Flip sort of looks like a folding phone without the buttons. Now, this is where the Motorola Razr comes in. In the words of Marques Brownlee, it is a blast from the past. It's a sort of evolved flip phone, if you would. It was priced a little more than the Z Flip, but people bought it for the style and the novelty. Now, we have talked about the ups and downs of folding phones, but what comes next in this saga? The future of folding phones has two parts. Either, as it happens often, folding phones will start copying each other and creating another sub-cycle inside the already horrible cyclical smartphone industry, or the folding phones will serve as the best of what the smartphone world or the tech world in general has to offer and will continue to push the boundaries of what phones can do. It all lies in the hands of the smartphone companies. Now, what folding phones are worth looking out for in the future? Starting with some big companies, the Microsoft Surface Duo looks a bit unique, and the Huawei Mate X, and the Xiaomi Dual Flex or the Mi Flex. All of these phones look a bit similar, but I don't know a lot about these, so I recommend you do not form conclusions very early. But one that seems very unique is a concept phone from TCL called the TCL Trifold that has 3 partitions to the screen. And that is all I have for this video. This has been a wonderful ride, and thank you for coming along.